It's okay to record. Alumni panel for the Shine 2020 cohort to meet people who have been through Shine before. So I'm really happy to have everybody here. Before we even get started, everybody knows we're recording you and we're going to put you on YouTube. First of all, I want to thank Ashley because I'm really relying on her to help me with all of this. And she is such a booster of Shine, as you know, if you've watched the video. Plus, she's just so highly competent that I ask her to do something to help me and it's done perfectly. So thank you, Ashley. I really also want to thank Marcus. We keep pulling Marcus in for free to work for us for free, and he does it. But now that he's coming to USC in the fall, we can start paying him. So what this is just a really casual time to, I want to give the alumni all a chance to say whatever they want to say about Shine. I'm always happy to hear constructive feedback, as well as how you feel it has helped you as you moved forward in either your last or your second to last year of school, and how it helped you decide where you wanted to go to college and what you wanted to major in. I'm going to come back and introduce everybody. These are our speakers today. I'm going to say that we are going to have a parents panel on Monday, June 8th at 5 p.m. So just as I don't really mind if your parents are like hanging off screen because they want to hear, they can be on screen. We like parents. Same, if you want to come to the parents panel, you can. But I'm sure you all know that Shine starts in 9 days. So we're all getting ready for you. And I'm a little behind schedule because of COVID and protests and all that stuff. But I will be catching up by the June 15th. You're going to hear from me many times before June 15th as I catch up. So as you guys know, we are having sub-panels. I think my next slide, subgroups, because we're going to be remote. So what we've done, I'm sure you're kind of used to this by now, is we've grouped the people who are on the computational end of research work. So obviously robotics. So I put a little picture. These are pictures I just pulled off the internet. So don't think that this is Shine people. But yeah, there's a lot of collaboration and theoretical work. Electrical and materials, we put you a little further on the continuum. Material science, there's a lot of theoretical and computational modeling that can be done. Civil, aerospace, and mechanical, you're a little less able to do theoretical stuff, but every single field of engineering these days does computational work. Coding is needed in every single field nowadays. And we will be doing trainings in data visualization that Ashley, do you have a quick idea of like the % of the mentors who are asking for people to do MATLAB? It's probably more than half, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, probably more than half.
Yeah. Or even Excel, there's amazing data visualization tricks you can learn in Excel. Now, those of you, and it's like 27% of you are over here in the wet lab area, biomed, chem engineering, and environmental engineering. So it's going to be interesting. Campus labs, the engineering labs are beginning to open up on Monday. It's a very slow restart. It's very, very slow. First of all, before anybody who's a PhD student in a lab, first they have to take a couple of online courses before they can come on campus. To come on campus, you have to register with public safety. If you go in your lab, you've got to be you got to have a face shield and a face mask, all social distanced. And not everybody can be in the lab at the same time. So in some ways, this is really good news for the Shine 2020 cohort, because you are most likely going to be able to see Zoom or FaceTime of your mentor in a lab. The bad news is it's still not going to be able for you to come in the labs by July 31st to take a look around. But when it is safe, we will have a huge reunion. Maybe we'll do a poster session. You'll get to go to the labs and stuff like that. But the mentors have been working for the past 6 weeks to plan for you to be remote. So we're getting our act together. So if you're curious, this is the breakdown. Oh yeah, I said 27, 43%, almost half of you are in a so-called wet lab. Oh, look at Katie didn't do this right. This is 24% robotics. This is electrical and material science. So I should have fixed that. And then the least of you this year, interesting, are in civil, aerospace, and mechanical. It can change every year depending, it has so much to do with how many professors are able to take in Shine students. Aerospace is always, we've had a lot of people in aerospace, but a lot of those PhD student mentors graduated this year. And so the professors are getting in new PhD students and they're just not ready. So some of you have brand new, by brand new, I mean first year PhD students, which means they've gone undergraduate, they've gotten a master's degree, and so they're pretty far up advanced, but that's why it changes each year. But all of you have pretty experienced PhD students. Okay, so end of that, you may have heard that yesterday, President Folt, the USC president, announced that classes will be on campus starting August 17th. We're going to have an early start and an early end, just in case you were curious. And so the summer is going to be a real busy time. Classes are going to be both in person, it's going to be a blend, in person and online, so that there can be social distancing in the classrooms, so that there can be like an hour, or that amount of time is always changing, an hour between classes, so that everybody can, the help can wipe down the labs, the classrooms, the hallways, all of that stuff. So COVID is a challenge, and all of us in engineering are trying to find the right models for coming back, the right contact tracing apps, the right algorithms to make sure it's all safe to come back. Okay, enough. So I'm happy to have Alex, Marcus, Mina, Michael, and Jen here to talk about their experience. You know, Mina, I'm going to start with you because you are the only one that is going to Stanford that is in today's talk. Alex and Jen, I'm going to come to you guys last because you're still in high school. But really, I just want to give you, 4 or 5 minutes, 4 minutes to tell everybody where you just graduated from high school, why you picked Shine, what was your experience here, and anything you want to say. So Mina, I'm going to turn it over to you.
So hi, I'm Mina. I was part of last year's Shine cohort, and I graduated from Diamond Bar High School. It's like an hour away from LA, so pretty close to USC. And I chose to do Shine because it was one of the only summer programs where, I guess it's not as applicable this year, but it was one of the only programs where I would get to do actual hands-on work and be in the lab for a really long period of time and actually contribute to the research and talk to the PhD mentors and professors one-on-one. And especially my professor, I worked in Dr. Maya Matarek's lab, so her work was something I really looked up to. So that lab in particular was also one of the reasons I chose Shine. And sorry, what was the other thing I was supposed to talk about? Why I enjoyed it or what I got out of it?
Whatever. Yeah, and I think especially for the the current year cohort who won't be going to college in the fall, how did it affect the way you treated high school or your college search and all it, like, you know, how did
Well, for me, it definitely, I kind of knew I was interested in computer science, and that's what I'll be majoring in at Stanford. So my experience of Shine kind of confirmed that, but also since I was in a lab that was more interdisciplinary, and a lot of the labs at Shine are, so it also worked, we also worked with education and psychology and other fields of engineering. So that kind of made me want that, also opened my mind to the fact that I like interdisciplinary work and I enjoy computer science, but I also want to go out of that. So because of my Shine experience, I already know that in addition to computer science, I would ideally be adding on another major or a minor in a different field. I don't really know what yet, maybe psychology or business, but yeah, Shine really widened my interests, I guess. And yeah, my Shine experience was one of the best experiences out of my high school. I still keep in touch with a lot of people that I met in Shine, and the people were definitely one of my favorite parts of Shine. So yeah, it was a really enjoyable experience.
Good, we're glad. You know that Professor Materek's daughter goes to Stanford, don't you?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I remember
I
her
think
telling me.
she might actually be a senior already. I'm looking at Ashley. Do you know Ashley? Yeah. Well, we'll see. Okay, great. Well, good to see you. And oh my God, we have Diamond Bar High School is like one of our feeder schools. I think we have 4 people from Diamond Bar this year.
Wow.
So, okay, Marcus, let me move to you.
Okay, so my name is Marcus. I came from the Huntington Park Institute of Applied Medicine, or HPIM for short. I didn't know about Shine. I didn't hear about it like a year before I applied or anything. It was I just happened to, I guess, be in the right place at the right time, in the sense that I was doing well in my classes and stuff. And I was kind of putting myself out there more as a sophomore, because when I applied to Shine, I was a sophomore. But from my freshman year to my sophomore year, I just started to involve myself more at school. So eventually, one of my school's administrators brought up the program to me, and she said that we think it'd be a great opportunity for you to go through this and participate in the program. So I ended up applying and everything, and then I got there. And then Shine was a unique experience for me, at least, because even before I went, I was kind of more on the arts side. I wanted to go into film in college. So I was always interested in science, even at an early age. So I thought, hey, let me try it out. Let me expand my horizons and do something that was outside of the film realm, and start going to something that was more academic based, even though, like I said, I was already interested in academics. So participated in Shine, got through it and everything. But going through it, I kind of it made me reaffirm myself in a way of oh yeah, I do want to pursue film. But then here I am, a civil engineering major at USC. So it's kind of there was a time where it clarified my college search in a way, because right after I finished, I was yeah, let me go to film school. But then in that year, since I did it in 10th grade, I came back to school as an 11th grader, and then I had to go through senior year. In that gap of time from end of Shine to college application, I'd kind of changed my preference from being more on the film side, and I decided to apply as engineering, because my Shine experience kind of exposed me to what engineering is and how it can how it affected me and how I was interested in it. So I'm not sure if I missed anything, Dr. Mills. You can tell me if I did, but yeah, that's my story.
As you know, so you guys may not have any idea, but my PhD is in film history. So I think people can like film and humanities and science. I was a science undergrad. I was a nutrition science major at UC Berkeley. So I think that mixing video making, film and science is really interesting. So I don't think you have to give it up, Marcus. And I noticed when the current cohort gave me a little sentence about what they are interested in, quite a few people are interested in making videos. So maybe we'll make more videos this summer. So.
Yeah, for sure. Like another like great thing, like sorry, just like a side story is I told I'm not sure if the current Shine cohort knows of like Dr. Megan Harold, and I talked to her about my interest in both like academics and like filmmaking. She's like, you don't have, like, she really kind of opened my eyes when she told me like you don't have to be exclusive to one of those things. You can find something that kind of brings all your interests together. So she's like, maybe you don't have to be like a movie director or anything, but you can work like in production of like promotional materials for science and stuff like that. So just another way that Shine was a real great experience overall for me.
Thanks. And yeah, Dr. Harold is going to come back. And so she's going to work with this current cohort on their annotated bibliography assignment and also college application essays. So when Dr. Harold isn't working for us, she teaches Shakespeare here at USC. And she's applying to medical school. So she's got a PhD in Renaissance literature, and she's going to go to medical school. So yeah, we all believe in really well-rounded people here. So thank you, Marcus. Michael, catch us up. I haven't talked to you in a year. So what have you been doing this year, and how have you reflected back on Shine?
Okay, so for everyone that's new, my name is Michael Kim, and I just graduated from Cypress High School. And at Shine, I was in electrical engineering under Dr. Han Wang. And Shine was a really good experience for me. And I really liked electrical because I always thought I would just apply everywhere as computer science for where I applied to colleges. But after Shine, it kind of like, I had like a conflicted feeling of what I wanted to do. So I think Shine, like, it helped me to open my eyes to other majors and see, like, I just want to do this one thing, but there's other stuff that is more interesting and that I should open my eyes to. And I think throughout senior year, when I was writing my college apps, Shine really helped to like shape how I wrote my essays, like what my interests were. And then seeing as I wrote my activities, I saw how Shine had also helped me to join new clubs at school and then help others in certain ways from what I've learned at Shine. And Shine didn't only help me with learning more about electrical, but also about like the college process and everything else. Yeah. And also at Shine, I met a lot of new friends, and I still keep in contact with them. And like, for example, one of my friends is in New York, like he doesn't even live in California, and we still keep in contact all the time. And Shine was just a great experience because I still also keep up with my PhD mentor. We talk like often, and I told him that I'm going to USC next year, and then he was like very happy. And then we just talk a lot, and I ask him a lot about his project. And I think that's another great thing about Shine is how we all keep up with one another. So he texts me, I text him, and it's just a great experience. And I think that, like I say, friendship we create with the PhD mentor is another great thing about Shine.
You're saying something that Marcus said too, that I would like to explore with, I know I haven't gotten to Alex and to Jen yet, but how Shine kind of exposes you to other things. Mm-hmm. And what I want to ask is, what made you so sure what you thought you wanted to major in? Like, that's what I'm curious. I'm not surprised that Shine would open up your eyes to other majors, kind of like what you've all said, but how did you guys kind of get set in what you thought you wanted to do? Like Marcus talked about film, and Mina talked about she's going to major in psych or something. And how is that just kind of the way it is in high school, where you feel like you got to pick something?
I feel like, yeah, there is something like that where like, you know, I think like my parents wanted, or I wanted to do CS since I was little, but like my parents have helped me to push that. So it kind of like made me go tunnel vision and only wanting to do CS without exploring other majors. And I think that's kind of why I've had this mentality that I need a major before I go into college.
Mm. Okay. Well, we're so glad you're coming to USC. Okay, let me flip it now to Alex, who I've had the privilege of seeing this year at least. But I don't know how you're doing, Alex. How are things and what's up?
Good. So hi, my name is Alex. I'm a rising senior at Marymount High School. And honestly, I feel like I had a much different experience than everyone else because not that I was forced to be a part of this program, but my school offers an internship program. And I just kind of applied to as many as I thought were interesting. And I got selected to be a part of Shine. And I had my college counselor come and tell me that you should really do this. It's a great opportunity. And so I did it, not really knowing what I was getting myself into, not really, knowing what it would entail. I wouldn't say I'm a very science-based person. So I was like, I'll give this a shot. I'll see how it goes. If I love it, I love it. And if I don't love it, I don't. So I went into it and then just fell in love with the program as weeks passed, as days passed, as hours passed. And it opened my eyes to a lot of things, to what research entailed and, how much time and dedication that process is. And just, like many others have said, opened my eyes to the college experience too, being on campus and getting to see, how USC runs as a school. That was really eye-opening for me. I think the biggest thing I took away from my experience was, like Michael said, the friendships and the PhD mentors. I literally just got off the phone with two of my closest friends yesterday, and we spoke for hours. Sarah and Achintia, I think they were in the last panel, but just meeting them, and we had so much fun. And Sarah was my lab partner. I was in a chemical engineering lab with Dr. Noridomi, who is by far the most amazing person ever. But Sarah and I we built this amazing friendship, and it was like her and I against the world when it came to research, trying to figure everything out, together, because there were many times where we were lost, but we had help from our PhD mentor. We had help from each other. And I think the connections was really something that I, thought was the most valuable part of this entire experience for me. But yeah.
You're still in high school. So
Yes.
How has it shaped you? I mean, and how did it make you, so are you more interested in science, or I never care what you do with the experience of Shine. Like I don't, you could say, no, I want to major in film, but.
Yeah, like I said, I went into it just kind of wanting to see whether that would be something that I'd want to pursue in college. And then I came out of it realizing that I still love science, but research isn't something I, feel like pursuing. I'm more of like a social butterfly in the sense that I can't see myself in a lab, for 12 hours a day and having to be quiet. And Sarah and I, like, at sometimes would just talk, and then, Dr. Noridomi would come and just say, shh, you're in lab. And it's just something that her and I think we both mutually agreed on that if we were to go into something science-based, it wouldn't be research. So it opened my eyes to that aspect of, the science realm. But then recently too, I found myself becoming more involved in social things such as like humanities or political sciences and business. So I think I'm still in that, place where I'm trying to figure everything out, and I'm still exploring different things. So I'm going to take some courses this year or this summer that are more revolved around things like business and politics and law. So again, still exploring my interests, but Shine definitely did open my eyes to something that, I had never been exposed to before, physically being in a lab and working with tools and, spending hours upon hours researching during the summer, which, I loved because I had people there with me to do it, but I wouldn't see myself doing that every single day. So yeah, in that sense, it was very eye-opening. And in terms of college, I can't say I am undecided, but you know, I'm leaning towards a different direction than I originally thought I was leaning towards.
We still love you.
Thank you.
Okay, Jen. Hey, Jen, and you're still in a lab, so you
Yes.
probably have a different experience. Talk to us.
So hi, my name is Jen. I applied to Shine as a sophomore, and I was, in the program as a rising junior. I would say I have a different experience from the cohort because I actually continue to work in lab throughout my junior year. So at around this time, I've been, working in the lab for a year. So I kind of have to like go back and really think about that summer. And
we should say that you were in Professor McCain's lab, because we might have people who are.
Yeah, to clarify, I work in Dr. McCain's biomedical engineering lab, the Laboratory of Living Systems Engineering, which it is a biomedical engineering lab. And I think for me, what was so valuable about being, on campus over that summer was really seeing all the different parts of engineering. Like I had friends in aerospace and then, kids in civil, and you get to see so many different things. Like even kids that were still in a biomedical engineering lab, we were doing completely different things. And, continuing my work at USC, I did more of like, I guess I would say like the electrical and mechanical applications within biomedical engineering, which was so interesting to me because before I thought I just wanted to be like a doctor. Like I wanted to be a surgeon, and that was something I was more interested in. So obviously I applied as biomedical. And then, when I did get into lab, my mentor, Joycelyn, she actually just had her defense an hour ago for her PhD, which is exciting. But she had me do more of the mechanical applications. So for me, it was really, interesting to see how I, going into college too, like thinking ahead, as I, am a junior right now, there are so many different things that you can get involved in. And it doesn't, I guess it was more of like a relief for me to see, like, if I major in, say, mechanical engineering, or I major in biology, like, you can take that in so many other directions. So that for me, like looking at my career, like a step back was really important to me. And, of course with Shine, Dr. Mills and, Dr. Harold, they do an amazing job of, bringing everyone together. Like when we would do lunches or, even Zoom calls like this, it's, you really get close with other high schoolers, like across the country. Even like one of my close friends, she is at a boarding school in I think Connecticut. Like it's Shine it was really a great experience for me.
I'm glad. Good. Michael, you said something that I wanted to come back to, and that how Shine helped you join more clubs when you went back to school. Mm-hmm. How did that help? I don't understand that connection.
So, for example, like our robotics club at school, it was something that was, I guess, like our last year's seniors kind of neglected. So when I went, like I was in it junior year as well, but I kind of left because the seniors were just doing their own thing. So the rest of us were just like, oh, what do we do? So we all left the club. But I think this year, more of us went back to it, like a lot of me and my friends. So there was a lot more, I'd say, sophomores. So they were freshmen last year, but they all left when the seniors didn't really help them. So more of us who were juniors as seniors this year went back to help. And then there was also a lot of sophomores, and there was a few juniors. And then, yeah, I think like if it wasn't for Shine, I don't think I would have gone back just because of my experience. But I think at Shine, like just like handling stuff in the lab, like getting a hands-on experience with that, like working stuff, and like, I built chips with my PhD mentor. I think that experience really wanted me to go back and then, just do more hands-on work at school because I couldn't get that like anywhere else. Yes.
Okay. I can talk about that a little more actually. After Shine, during Shine, a lot of the robotics kids would talk about FRC, and my school didn't have FRC. I was the one that started the robotics club at my school. So after Shine, like I had so much confidence. So I started FRC at my school and we won an award and everything. And like that wouldn't have happened if the kids at Shine didn't tell me about their experiences with FRC, and like if I didn't learn like get the confidence and learn the skills that I learned at Shine.
Confidence is something that I see the Shine students really grow in. And how? Why is that? I ask all of you, what is it about Shine that makes your confidence grow?
I think it's okay if I comment on that.
Mhm.
So the lab I work in, I have a female mentor, and the professor or the PI, principal investigator of the lab, is a female. And then, you know, Dr. Mills, and, you know, you have all these, like for me going to Shine, like I saw these females doing, you know, having these important positions within it. And I was like, wow, like that's incredible. Because for me at my high school, and I bet Hannah can comment on this too, the science department is definitely taken over by more of like the male teachers and the male students. So going through high school for me, or at least through my 9th and 10th grade year, that was something kind of holding me back. I was like, you know, is this for me? Like, am I doing something wrong? Like, I just didn't have that confidence. And then this past year, I started a science bowl team at our school, and no, we didn't do well at competition, but for me, it was still something I said, like, look, I went out there, I started it, I did the research. Like, you know, when you're at your high school, you create this image about what, you know, STEM is like, or, you know, your community based off what you're seeing. And, you know, being a part of Shine just opened my eyes up to, you know, what I'm capable of doing.
I can add on to that too, in terms of confidence. I think the most rewarding part of the entire 7-8 weeks was at the end giving that final speech in front of everyone, your friends, your family, you know, people who were there. It was just this really rewarding feeling of, wow, I really just did that, you know. And for me personally, like I said, I wasn't sure what to expect from this experience, but afterwards just kind of feeling this accomplishment, you know, of wow, I spent all this time doing research, trying something completely out of my comfort zone. And, you know, to my family, to, you know, my mentors, to my lab partner, you know, they were all proud of what I've done or what I did. And it was just, in terms of confidence, it made me realize I was capable of doing things like that I didn't really think I could do prior to. So yeah.
I think it's also that during Shine, at least in the lab, you're treated like an adult, and your mentors and your professor, they have high expectations of you. So yeah, you kind of have to figure things out by yourself or with your partner, and when you actually manage to do that and pull that off, that really boosts your confidence in yourself. So if your PhD mentor says, oh, I want the robot to move like this, but they don't tell you like, oh, you use this language, use this program, and then when you figure all of that out by yourself, and even if the final product doesn't work exactly as you intended it to, just the fact that they had that confidence that you could pull that off, and that you tried it, yeah, it really boosts your confidence.
Yeah, adding on to what Mina said, like in the lab, I think like just being in the lab with your PhD mentor as they tell you to do stuff also helps to boost your confidence, because most of my work was like trial and error. And at first I was like very like anxious, and I was like doubting myself, like what if I do this wrong? Like will he get mad? But even though I messed up at the beginning, like he just kept telling me, oh, it's okay. And then we just kept repeating the process of how to do it correctly. And I think that really helped to boost my confidence, because in my lab, what we were doing was kind of new, and my PhD mentor was like the first one to start that lab. So as he did it, like he messed up too. And I saw that, you know, messing up is just part of the process. So I just kept doing what I needed to do. And by the end, when I saw my poster and all the work that I had done, I think that really helped to boost my confidence. And going back to what Alex said, I think presenting the poster also helps to boost your confidence, because not only are you doing it in front of your professor or your PhD mentor, but also the professor from like 5 other labs, like 5 other PhD mentors, and the parents who some have like graduated from college in the STEM field that know what you're talking about, and then they ask you questions and you're able to answer them. And I think that really helps to, you know, boost your confidence.
If I could think I can add on a little something too. I think also with Shine, it just kind of helps you. It gives you some like a sense of a better sense of perspective, and I guess and like even just outside of academics, even just like in something that you want to do, like at least okay. So my example would be like if you go through Shine, it's a rigorous program. Like nothing, like no doubt about it. Like when you put it into words, it is kind of like wow. Like if you take a step back and look at it, it's very like it's something that you can be proud of once you finished, because you think, oh yeah, I spent 7 weeks in a lab. Like if like sorry to the current Shine students that aren't able to be into a lab, but even just the program like currently like in this year, like just participating in the Shine program and making your poster and then presenting that poster, like at least for me at the end when I finished it, it just made it kind of made everything else seem a little bit less scary, because I thought that, oh yeah, if I can do this and I can make this poster and I can present it not only like in like a little poster session, but also to a big audience at the end of the poster session, it made everything else like high school, like things like leadership speeches or anything of that nature outside of high school too. It just made those things seem a bit less scary than they were, because you feel that if you're able to do Shine, you can do a lot more.
Ashley, do you want to say? You're nodding. You don't have to.
No, I just agree with everything everyone's been saying. That was really nerve-wracking to present, and we did do that. I'm proud.
Everybody, we teach, we give you plenty of opportunities to learn how to talk about your work, and then everybody does a good job. Let me open it up to the new cohort, and I'm sure some of you have questions. Anthony has got a chat, so you can unmute yourself. You can ask questions of anybody or everybody. So I'll be quiet. Well, I'll give you a chance to do this. Anthony, you want to talk about what are you doing with your your mentor right now?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, so I was just like listening to what the panelists were saying, and like I also completely agree. Like, even though the Shine program hasn't started yet, I've already been programming some stuff and working on projects with my PhD mentor along with my lab mate. And in the short amount of time that we've done that, it's been about 2 weeks now, that has been more access than I've ever had in my life with computer programming and the actual application of computer programming. And that's given me a lot of excitement towards like how it'll be even after I complete the program, how much more I will have grown. And that's just kind of my experience. So yeah.
Great. Questions, you guys? It's your chance. If any of you are going, why is Anthony working with his PhD mentor already and I'm not? You know, we do try. I have told the PhD mentors, the Shine mentors, that you know, we basically are starting June 15th. They're thinking about you guys right now, but they're trying to lay out all of the programs and stuff that they want you to learn. There's going to be you know, a fair amount of tutorials, excuse me, that you'll do on your own. You can do them together, like Alex and Sarah and yeah, we didn't tell you to work together or study together, but you chose to. So that's same with you guys. If we're putting you through a MATLAB tutorial, we're not going to set up and say, okay, we're going to do this together for 2 hours. But as 10 of you, 15 of you, 20 of you can choose to Zoom together and do the tutorial together and back channel while you're doing it. So you guys are going to have to work a little bit harder to forge these relationships, because you're not just always there together, but you can do this. So, no questions? All right. Something that Chincha said in the last panel was that he didn't even know why he got accepted to Shine. He didn't accept it. Okay, Annika, if you want to chat, put in a question in chat, Annika, go ahead. But Achintwa was saying, he thought it was a mistake that he got accepted to Shine, which is a totally typical feeling. It never stops. Like when you get accepted into a PhD program, you spend like all those years wondering, are you smart enough to be in the PhD program? So it never, so that's just a feeling. It's not a fact. And it's so common. There's something called impostor syndrome. Like they're going to figure out that I really don't know calculus as well as I think it's just a mistake that they don't know that I don't really know how to differentiate an equation. So I don't know if any of my panelists had that feeling too, or did you always feel confident?
I did not always feel confident. I was so insanely intimidated when I first, heard that I got accepted to be a part of the program as well. And walking into, my first day and being in a lab, obviously it's different now, but just even, meeting Sarah for the first time was so scary because, I wasn't sure whether her and I were going to get along or whether we were kind of at the same level or, even Achintia, like same thing with him. He's really smart and I look up to both of them, but it was really, really nerve-wracking because I didn't know where I was going to be placed in terms of like knowledge and involvement or, so I definitely, that goes with the confidence and just developing that throughout my experience, but definitely there was intimidation when I first joined.
I think when I first joined Shine, I also had like that same feeling with Achintia because what my first choice was for when applying to Shine was actually CS, but that was all the CS spots were taken through like the early application, and I just did it through the regular because I wasn't sure if I could go to Shine or not. But I was actually chosen to my second one, which was electrical, and in my lab, I was the only one that was chosen. And when I got the email, I was told it was harder than what I had originally applied for. So I was like, I think this is a mistake because I didn't really have any experience in that area. So I was like, why did this professor choose me? And, there was like that feeling of, oh, what if I don't do this correctly? Like, what if I just don't, meet their expectations or all that? And yeah, it's just a scary feeling at first, but, you start to get comfortable in the lab and with your PhD mentor and you start to learn together. You learn new things together and they teach you everything about their past work. And I think that just also helps to grow your confidence. And yeah, it's just an amazing experience.
Annika, I could finally see your question. I didn't see before. So Annika's asking Mina, how was the interdisciplinary part of the lab? You could nod, Annika. Do you mean like, was it hard or was it interesting or one of those things? You could chat. Okay, both. How was it, Mina?
So for my lab, the project I worked on was to write programs for a robot that would increase curiosity and engagement in middle school students who struggle to learn. So in order to do this, we had to use research from a variety of different fields, obviously computer science and robotics, to actually write the programs and connect it wirelessly to the robot and everything. But also psychology and education to figure out exactly what programs would, capture the attention of a middle school student, or what kind of movements would enhance their learning abilities, and what what things would make a student unable to pay attention to a normal teacher, but we might be able to do it differently in a robot. So some examples are, we had different color displays. We had like a rainbow color display. We had cute sounds based on where you touch the robot. The robot we worked with had really cute eyes, so we would adjust, the facial expressions so it looked more, human, which would maybe make kids more receptive to the robot. So I guess to answer your question, the interdisciplinary part was more what exact programs we were going to write, and then the only computer science was actually writing the programs. So a lot of the work we did in the beginning was research and reading articles that sometimes didn't even involve computer science at all. And then towards the end or the middle was where we really wrote the bulk of the code. So yeah, I hope that answered your question, but if not, then yeah, you can text if there's anything else.
And Anthony, you don't have to choose between CS and humanities. We'll talk more about that when Shine starts, and even on the first day. Let's see, it's 8 minutes to 3. Yeah, and Anthony's asking, did anybody do any other courses during Shine? Like, did you take summer school? Did anybody take anything else during Shine? People have, but yeah, it's, I want to ask you, you alumni, they're not going to be in labs together. So what advice do you have? Like, knowing what you know, what would you do if you couldn't get together?
So do you mean like how to like collaborate with your cohort, or like with?
Yeah, with your cohort. How they're going to be fine with their mentors and their PIs, but everybody's kind of shy, and it's not like you're just walking out of the lab and somebody's about to go have lunch at the same time. You guys could have lunch together, but you have to make that effort to say, I'm going to Zoom lunch with you. So knowing that, knowing how important the cohort friendships are, how do you recommend to this year's cohort to get out of their shy shell and try to get to know each other?
I was going to suggest, last year we had a group chat with everyone in the cohort, and I feel like because a lot of us had different lunch schedules and, we didn't all get to see each other every single day, we would just kind of like, Snapchat whatever we felt like, whether it was a meme or like a comment about something that, occurred throughout the day. But that really helped us all kind of stay in touch and then get closer and just more comfortable, I guess. Like, not all of us were best friends with each other, but something someone would send would make everyone laugh. And so I think that just kind of brought us closer together. And I mean, social media is just, right now it's so prevalent. So I feel like that would definitely be a way to get people connected without being face-to-face in person together.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Like, after you take the first step and just make the group chat or have that first Zoom call, then it'll probably get a lot easier. And we had that big Shine group, but then within that, if there were certain groups of people that really vibe, then other group chats, smaller group chats would also form. And that's kind of where you get the really close-knit friendships, because it's kind of unrealistic to expect to be best friends, like Alex said, with everyone in the cohort. So, but from just talking to more people, you'll just find out which exact people you kind of vibe with and form other friend groups based off of that, or maybe just one-on-one friendships and stuff.
That's good. And Ashley made us a Slack channel. Are you guys already using it? I'm typing it in. But okay, Alex, you mentioned Snapchat. I'm just curious, how many of you used Snapchat? Put your hand up so I can see. Okay. And we're gonna have a talk with a computer science researcher who used to work at Snapchat. He'll talk about the algorithms that they used to keep you hooked, to keep you on Snapchat. So any alumni is always welcome to come back for any of the talks that we have. I'm still putting the calendar together, but you're all welcome. Okay, we've got 4 minutes before 3. So I want to, yeah, and Instagrams. We did more, not we, I don't mean Shine, but the K-12 STEM Center did more Instagrams this COVID. So any last questions? Last call for questions.
Yeah, I have a question for Ashley. Like, I know she's attending USC right now, so I want to ask, like, how has Shine prepared you for college?
Well, I'm still working in the lab that I was working in when I was in Shine. So I feel like the way it prepared me was it opened a lot of doors for me. I had a job already going into college. I had a position in a lab. They gave me a bit of leadership. They gave me a student lead role because I had already been in Shine. So, and it also just like, I already felt confident being at USC's campus because I was there all summer for Shine and then all summer working. So it's a confidence booster and it opens doors and it just shows you how to network. So.
All right. Right. And Brandon, I guess Brandon started the Discord server. So figure out how to get on it if you're not already on it, right? Okay. Anybody want to say anything? William, do you have more questions or anything?
Not really, but I just want to say, like, I'm really excited for Shine, and I can't wait to see, like, everyone else, like, once it starts. So
Great. We can't wait to start working with you guys. If you're really eager to get started, and if you haven't already gone to your professor's website, definitely go there. We'll start off with a bang. I'm not gonna try to give you, I think I'm gonna give you a little bit of stuff to read before our first Monday thing, but you're definitely gonna have homework. We're gonna meet again Wednesday morning and we'll meet again Friday morning. So Monday, I'll have you from 9 to 11, then we'll give you a couple hours break. Then you're gonna meet with your mentors pretty much from 1 to 3. Pretty similar schedule for Wednesday and Friday of that first week, just so that we all kind of get to know each other a little bit. And then in subsequent weeks, we'll be less cohesive, I guess. But I will be meeting with you every week. We start out reading scholarly literature. So all of you who've been through that process, it's kind of scary. We start the first week, you start looking at the literature, the peer-reviewed literature that your professor or a PhD student or somebody wrote. Everybody survived that experience, right? Does anybody want to say anything about that experience?
Yeah, I would like to comment on that. It is intimidating off the bat trying to read these papers that, you know, your professor wrote or that, you know, your mentor worked on, but it'll get easier. And something that I actually did, or I've had to do, is after going through Shine, is go back and reread those papers. And the difference in how much you understand is incredible. And I think that'll be, you know, in addition to the poster session, that'll really show you how much you've learned from it. So I mean, your mentor also, you know, everyone understands what you're going through. So I felt a little lost going straight into it because I was like, oh, do my peers already know all of this? Like, have they done research? Like, I didn't understand where I was. But just know that, you know, your mentor, the principal investigator of the lab, they all know what you're going through. They understand, so you're not alone.
There's really no way to start without jumping into the deep end, and you will not drown. We won't let you drown. All right, listen, you guys, I would like this new cohort to help me thank the alumni for what they have done today. So good to see you guys. And we will post this. Ashley will do it for me. And so you're gonna hear from us again. I don't think we're gonna have any more panel discussions before June 15th, but you guys have each other's email addresses, and obviously you can get together on Discord. So feel free to reach out, start getting to know each other. IG Michael Kim for sure. Are you gonna put your IG in there? Michael Kim? At Michael Kim? At CS Wizard? What is it? Okay, so thanks everybody. Ashley and I will hang out here if anybody wants to ask questions or the alumni want to chat or anything like that. But otherwise, we are done. And thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Good to see everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. All right.
No, did Jacob she leave? Oh, he asked me to add him to the Slack, but I didn't get his email. It's okay.
Oh, he's not on Slack?
No, apparently not. I'll just
It's
re-email
on-
the email we have on file.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Marcus, you're the last.
Um,
I'm always, these are always such moving conversations for me.